Tonight's red hot video. Listen, Luigi Mangione. You know Luigi Mangione. He's back in New York City now, where he's accused of killing UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson recently with a pistol. You may recall Mangione was returned to New York City by authorities after agreeing to be extradited from Pennsylvania this morning. Quite a lot of drama, a car, a plane, a helicopter. The federal indictment against Mangione, unsealed today, includes charges of murder using a firearm, 2 counts of stalking, and an additional firearms offense, while New York State also has charged him with first-degree murder in furtherance of terrorism and 2 counts of second-degree murder, which include an act of terrorism as well. Here's New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
The radicalization that is taking place across our country, we cannot ignore. When you see an incident that took place on our streets, when you witness a shooting that took place on a school campus by now a young girl, it is the continuation of our young people are crying out for help. And we have an obligation not only to make apprehensions after an incident of this magnitude, but to do far more to prevent it.
Now, Matt Schlapp, we got the extradition done today, and they moved him from Pennsylvania to New York, and he's going to go presumably on trial. And they've got a lot of charges, and I mean, it sounds like he killed multiple people based on the charges that they have there. But what's gonna happen here? New York City, the murder of the CEO. Big national story.
This is a big problem with justice in these big cities. New York City, Chicago, Washington, D.C., these woke justices, judges, sometimes they excuse the violence of the left. Mm-hmm. And we've had a politicized judiciary for too long, and I worry that he's going to get off scot-free. I also worry about this slime of anyone who's a CEO or anyone who's a profit seeker. What do we say?
Obscene profits.
Right, it's like this. It's almost like these are wicked people. If you're a CEO, if you're a wealthy person, and you deserve a comeuppance. And it seems like that's the way the media has flowed on this. And there'll be the jurors in New York City. And I think this mayor of New York City, who I don't share anything with politically, I actually kind of like him. And he's saying the right things here.
Well, and Jason, you speak about Mayor Eric Adams, fairly frequently, and he's a former police officer. He's a Democrat mayor. He's talking about the radicalization of a generation, and we've got this assassination of a CEO, and it's true. And it's the left, of course, demonizing CEOs and success and obscene profits and all of that. And most of these CEOs who are worth $100 billion are Democrats, of course. But we've got the 15-year-old girl in Madison, Wisconsin, also radicalized, right? And I think Eric Adams is 100% right about radicalizing a generation in America that's violent and dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, we've had radicalization. We can go through some of the shootings that we've seen, mass shootings in Texas and in other places where people, Tree of Life Synagogue, going all the way back to the church in Charleston where people have been radicalized. We do have a problem with our youth getting their information from the internet and sometimes acting out on that. I don't know that I've seen what the motive was for the shooting at the Christian church or the Christian school, so I can't necessarily comment on that, but I can say we certainly need to keep firearms, number one, out of the hands of people whose brains are not yet fully developed. Unless you're going hunting with your uncle, you should not have, access to a firearm. With this particular case, and I've said it over and over again, I believe that, and you talk about like what are obscene profits? Obscene profits are when you don't share your profits with your workers. That's what I consider obscene. It's not the making.
Bezos employs 1.5 million people at Amazon, and they aren't generally burning the place down.
I want to go back to Luigi because that whole of him getting out of the helicopter, surrounded by all these, law enforcement officials, it makes him almost look like a martyr, and it's really troubling to me that I don't think he'll get out scot-free, but I do think
they might go light on him.
No, maybe, but all I'm saying is like the fact is that there are those people that were out there protesting him, but there were still about 20% of those who view him favorably, who believe that what he did was right. There was nothing wrong with what he did. And I think that
it'll just take one of them on the jury, though.
That is a troubling shift that we're seeing in our country of allowing for this type of violence to happen in America and basically applauding it.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.